Hello, my friends. This is Alex. Welcome to Socialism Survival Podcast number 40. The subject of this audio presentation is golf as whole, or golf as whole, dangerous socialist game. It's a long title. Let me spell its first part for those who has problem with my pronunciation. Here it is: GOLFASHOLE or GULFASWHOLE. Now you understand better, right? That cannot be cleaned by simply applying hand with bathroom tissue. I will explain the issue after a short segment of virtual housekeeping and community organizing. Please go and spend some time on my website, socialismsurvival.com. You will find there all my previous podcasts and blogs. And it is especially important because the access on iTunes to the number of podcasts is limited. And there is also my blog, and you will need to read my blog, especially for this podcast, so you will make sure that you understand all terms that I use here. Do you have your own website? Then please consider linking from there to socialismsurvival.com. But of course, most important, please spread the word. Please, I repeat, please spread the word and introduce others, like your friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers to Socialism Survival Podcast. Let's do together whatever we can to inform American people and to help them make better choices for the future, for their future and for the future of their children. It looks for me like golf is not anymore a game for rich capitalists, as American socialist president is such a golf lover. Does it mean that golf is now finally available for working class as a part of their class struggle win? Well, I never played big golf, only mini golf, but could try it if this president would invite me to teach him truth about socialism in exchange for golf lessons. I'm just laughing. As for now, here is my free lesson to everyone on this great game and what it has to do with today's events. We can take any part of this game and talk of it as golf course, as clubs and balls, but I will talk about golf as whole, because that's where is aiming this so-called president, the iron driver of socialism, because nothing else in golf attracts this man as whole. Obviously, the man is attracted to what or who he is, although looking at that whole, he visualizes his enemies, the enemies of Alinsky-style socialism golf game that he learned from his Marxist professors and from the rules for radicals. That's the new rules for golf as of January 2009. Hey, Rush! I'm talking to Limbo. Either abandon this game or follow new rules. The rule number one for this game: we need a crisis. If there is none, create it. In those days, when America faces crisis after crisis, where we can find American president? On a golf course, of course. When there is crisis, he can play his game, reaffirming himself that he is calm and cool. Don't forget, that's what you elected him for, so he could play his game, following his rules. As of now, it shouldn't be called golf anymore, but socialist messiah game. As you must remember, his prophet, Joe the Biden, acting as if he was John the Baptist, predicted before elections that newly elected 37-year-old president will be tested by international crisis. Sorry, Catholics, you better say goodbye to your long-time member. He who once felt that God had played a horrible trick on him because his wife and daughter were killed in accident, is now playing horrible tricks on God and on American people, mowing grass on a golf course of his Messiah's political game. And the game they are playing in the Gulf of Mexico course of events fits the rules I just described. Let's look at this situation in the golf and Messiah golf game as whole. Yes, it is inseparable. You should see it as whole, because from the day number one, as they like to say, they saw this oil spilling hole as the opportunity for their game. As according to their rules, no crisis can be wasted. American people, according to their game rules, you can be wasted. Gulf of Mexico can be wasted. Dolphins and turtles, pelicans and seagulls can be wasted. Beaches can be wasted. Fishing and shrimp businesses can be wasted. In the first days after oil rig explosion, as President walked down his golf course towards the hole, he had two options. First was to contain the oil spill, burning it or allowing to collect it from the surface, preventing it from reaching the shore. That's what real president who loves this country would do. But this socialist golfer who hates America and you, American people, selected second option. to extend his golf course from the hole to the shoreline, to let the crisis expand so it might affect people's lives. He reaped 20 billions of BP, so you could look at him, your Messiah, with thankful tears in your eyes, while check is handed to you. Now, to keep receiving your checks, you need to do only three things. Yes, you need to do only three things to raise your voices against evil oil industry. Second, to cheer his cap and trade rip-off project by keeping its proponents in Congress. And third, to re-elect him as president in 2012. As a special socialist golfer's thanks, you will receive from him a 4-inch red plastic tees for your first socialist tea party at the golf course of Mexico, while watching a miracle as golfing Messiah strikes his balls and contains the spilling hole. And then, in the eyes of amazed world, he declares that from now on, all Americans are his golfers. No, you don't actually have or will play golf. All you will need to do is to hold your red tee upside down with a little red flag attached to it, while attending Soviet-style government-controlled Tea Party demonstrations in support of false messiah's socialistic agenda. That's what happens to such a great game when community organizer steps down on a golf course. It becomes a golf curse, and this country as whole falls in a big black hole which is as deep and dangerous as whole of this new age socialist golfer. Thank you for listening to special golf edition of this podcast. I hope you understood my sarcasm and will tolerate my English, especially when I speak on such things as whole. Until the next week, this is the voice of common sense and healthy mind. Your Socialism Survival host, Alex.